Up next for our meal prep series is frozen homemade meatballs. Let me show you how I do it. We're starting with 3 pounds of ground beef. To the ground beef, you want to add 1.5 cups of breadcrumbs. I'm using my homemade sourdough breadcrumbs. You can use any breadcrumbs from the store. I'm not using Italian breadcrumbs. I'm going to use plain because we like to do several things with the meatballs. We like to make Salisbury meatballs, Mississippi meatballs, meatball subs, spaghetti and meatballs, or any recipe you use meatballs for. So I do them plain and then I season my sauces as I cook them. We're gonna add 3 eggs, 1 egg for each pound of ground beef. I'm gonna split these with my son and it'll make us a good meal or 2 each. About 2 teaspoons of salt, 2 teaspoons of black pepper, a tablespoon of garlic powder, and a tablespoon of onion powder. Or more. And we're gonna add 1 cup of milk. Now you're just gonna get in there and mix them up. Don't over mix or your meatballs can be tough. We like our meatballs kind of small, so I'm gonna use a 1.5 tablespoon cookie scoop just to kind of eyeball how much. That's the size I'm gonna do mine. If you like them bigger, add more to it. If you like them smaller, add less. I'm only using that cookie scoop just to get my size initially. And now I'll just eyeball them. I do not make them all perfect sizes. I try to make them close so they can cook at about the same time, but it's much easier just to grab and go. So I'm gonna get all these rolled up and then I'll be back to show you the next step. Since I'm sharing mine with my son, I'm gonna pre-cook these because I don't want them to have to do that later. So as I get a tray ready, I'm gonna throw them in my air fryer because I don't feel like turning my oven on and heating my house up. So I'm just gonna make trays up and put them in my air fryer. They're gonna cook on 400 for about 20 minutes. But if you're doing it in the oven, cook them on 400 for like 20 to 25 minutes. So I'm gonna stick these in the air fryer and get these cooked while I'm still shaping the rest. My meatballs are cooked. I have 1 more batch in the air fryer, so those will be done by the time I get these packaged. I'm gonna be using my vacuum sealer to package them. If you don't have a vacuum sealer, you can use Ziploc bags. Just make sure to squeeze the air out really well before you stick them in the freezer. I'm gonna freeze 13 to a bag. You can freeze however many your family would need for a meal. Just gonna do them in a single layer. And then I'm gonna take the air out and seal it. There's our first bag of meatballs, and that should be enough for 1 meal, especially if they're meatball subs, because I just cook it in spaghetti sauce and then I slice them in half to put them on the dinner rolls. Then we top that with mozzarella cheese and bake it just until the cheese gets bubbly. If you're making a larger meal like Salisbury meatballs, you may want to package more meatballs to a container. There's 2 packages, and my other batch is just about ready, so once they cool for a couple minutes, I'll get those packaged up. And that's a quick and easy way to have meatballs on hand.